Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Connell Work,
And I'm Ringru. Hello, hello, hello.
and we are continuing our coverage of the German Civil War today. Just another match in the Orsha Cup, and on the map of Slutsk. And Rang, who is fighting?
Oh, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Curbs playing Hartnick, we have Balance Income, and on the right-hand side, we have Neela playing 78 Sturm, we have Vanguard Income.
Well, I do love me some Group Hardneck, and we've always talked about this. I love the variety that they bring here, and we definitely know that 78 Sturm is a powerhouse when it comes to infantry. How does this match look?
It's gonna be pretty interesting because this is a rather open map, so it's gonna be a little bit more harder for 78 to use those STG troops to full effect. And a group partner, you definitely have the better tank play with the Hetchers, the T-34s, and the Tigers. So it'd be interesting to see how Sturm does play out in that engagement. And at the same time, they do have National and PAG-43s and infantry support guns for 78, so it's pretty even Stevens between both sides, I'd say.
One thing that's honestly inspiring to me, a little bit weird, is that Nilla, well, 78 Stern players as a whole, I feel like they almost uniformly run that Vanguard income. Is that just the nature of the division, or is that just the current meta?
Oh, probably a bit more towards the current meta. I think the entire strategy is to just you blitz through with all your STG troops, because you get a lot of STG troops. Even in A phase, they're pretty generous in terms of like good A phase infantry cards. So you just try to play out early on, rush through the towns and forest, and just get in the ground.
We have early Cossacks, or Cossacks rather,
Oh, cool.
down to the south of 4 squads worth. I'm super psyched.
Cool, cool.
Oh wait, never mind. Oh damn, never mind. Only,
That's just
only
one.
one. Only
Yeah, I
one.
think it's just. I think that's a recon unit.
Doesn't matter to me. We finally get them. Oh, by the way, Konaya, I heard from a viewer the other day, and thank you very much. I will apologize for not remembering your name off the top of my head. It basically means cavalry,
Oh,
or
makes
like
sense.
riders. So, and a very,
Sense.
very early FU-288 is on the field. Two of
Mm-hmm.
them, in fact. So Curbs is not messing around with the range game.
No, and those things are great because they also act as artillery guns, and because they're German captured jisses, they have corrected shot bonuses. So they're going to be pretty scary.
Oh, those Cossacks are so good.
Oh, cool. I know. Pretty cool. They got funny hats, I believe, as well.
Oh, let's see how close I can get
Yep,
to them.
yep, they got the funny hats.
I believe you mean stylish.
Stylish as well. They got a big cross on top. Easy target.
That's so cool. But all right, so some early dominance being shown here by the T-34s to the south as they kind of start to engage. A lot of... Oh, wait, never mind. APCR, oof, that's rough. Time to turn your guns, my friend. Artillery fire? No? Okay. Guess not.
Even in a German on German match, we're still seeing PAC-40s blow up T-34s.
Well, it's nice to know that even if that happens, that some things don't change, you know?
I know. No matter what, it's very hard to find an ST2 replay or match being played that doesn't involve a T-34. Which makes sense, you know, one of the most mass-produced tanks, second most mass-produced tank of all
Wow.
time.
We have a 2-minute Nigel.
Oh, that's a Nigel rush.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really kind of like that. Ooh, we're getting a meaty engagement at long last. Sturmschützen against Stoßtruppen.
The Therms are gonna win. They pretty much win
And
every
handily,
fight.
too, yeah.
Yeah. Unless the Shaker Pioneer can get in close and throw in the bundle grenade, he's probably not gonna have a good time.
I don't know. It's starting to
Yeah,
slowly get freaked out here, and that bundle grenade should be able to get to that house.
there we go.
Yeah, not for nothing. I mean, they will take some heavy, heavy losses here. But, I think they'll stem the tide at least barely for the time being.
Yeah, Pioneer holding on pretty strong, but it's not gonna be enough, unfortunately. That Sturmschützen just next door, and that's not exactly a friendly neighbor to have.
Yeah, not exactly State Farm, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But we have two early P2s being brought in, those prototypes. got to be doing probably a decent job at pushing back that infantry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing the FK 8288 looking for the IG-18. And not for nothing, if I was to put money on one of these engagements, I'd probably go the other direction here.
Yeah, same here, same here. And actually, a very early commandant from Neela as well, getting that command chain up and running. And that's definitely going to help out, because that will buff up the Sturmsuchens to 2-star veterancy. And that's a pretty... I mean, the STGs are already scary enough, but 2-star STG squads are not something you walk into or walk out of.
As I said, walking into, you can do as much as you want to, but the Hotel California, you can check in anytime you like. You can never leave.
Yeah, but it's still pretty like even Steven Trove. Only Neela has lost a few HP score, so to speak. But yeah, it's still pretty much anyone's game.
Meanwhile, down south, we have, I'm not going to say tanks at 20 paces, but we have infantry at 100 yards just firing shots back and forth across the road. Now, the T-34s in close support, I would call that kind of fairly unwinnable, I would think, for the Elite Pioneers. And I respect the hell out of those guys nonetheless.
Yeah. This is how you deal with 78th Sturm. You do not fight infantry with just infantry. You have to even odds with artillery, support guns, and tanks. And just having a few T-34s nearby makes the world of difference in fighting those scary big elite dudes.
Can we just notice also, by the way, that we have the 2 P2s are slashing it from the southern side of the town. I think they're trying to cut off some reinforcements here. And wait,
yeah.
early tubes.
Oh boy.
I didn't even see them. Where'd they come from?
Neighbor up north. And we got the P2s fighting the National, but Mr. Niger ain't messing around. Same with the P2
true.
Actually.
I was going to say the P2 is still very, very dangerous, especially at this range. If you can get that last rounds off, he might get a freak out. Yep, and kills.
Damn, that's fantastic P2 play. And yeah, on the southern side of the town, he's outside of any AT range. He can just provide all the fire support that he needs.
Yeah, so the first rush didn't go very well. You got Pioneers, got forced back. With new smoke and more mortar shells and more artillery. Hartnett, I think, should be able to push back and take this town in fairly short order. This is why Curbs is definitely one of those guys to watch all the time.
Yeah, he's just doing a fantastic job of pretty much just using all the fire support units to even the odds against 78th. You've got the mortar half-tracks out, he's got recon tanks out, got Tigers, got some air power. Very good plays overall, very good plays.
Want to make a quick call out to this as well. If you look down south, we did see that the Germans are across the road into the Red Germans. And those Kommunisten Faschisten are definitely getting pushed back. Yowza. But there is still a couple Pack 40s there just to really put the stop onto any push by the T-34s. Regardless, that's a great push right there. And yep, we're starting to see the town push, I think, is starting to get itself some progress, ever so slightly. They're going to get into the town this time, at least.
Yeah, the P2s are doing pretty good, but now we have 2 Stugs coming in. And once they crest over the hill, I don't think those P2s are going to have a time. Heck, even the IG-33 nearby can deal some pretty serious damage to those P2s, unless, P2s shoot them first.
And they do.
Yeah.
Well, the town continues to get wrecked so far. I think you're right. I think the Stokes are going to engage. Yep, already have 1 kill. But even in death, those guys have done some great work. 4 Stokes on the map.
And that's going to even things out here for Neela up north, knocking out the final P2. And yeah, there are some Jaeger Pioneers and the Battery Fuhrer in the town, but our Sturmsuchen beats out all.
2 more T-34s to the south trying to go and continue some progress. Looks like what had been a German push from the west. Well, the West Germans are no longer in, ascendancy here. Looks like the East Germans are finally getting their licks in.
Makes sense too, because it's blue versus red.
Yeah, I was to say that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Some War Game Red Dragon levels of German plays right here.
The Russian judge is not impressed. Now, I am surprised by the relative impotence, is that the right word? Of that Naval strike from before.
Yeah, Naval aren't as awesome as they were in SD44. So they just don't have the oomph that they did. They're good at doing that initial suppressive damage mainly, but no longer that crazy high explosive napalm death machine that it was in the Western Front.
Tiger E, by the way, started getting engaged by a couple of Strokes and a Rhino. And Rhino one-shots him.
Oh. This map is made for rhinos for sure.
Well, they definitely do need a very large habitat in which to run. And we are back to a 12-12 here. Curbs, legitimately, I thought early on he had a dominant force, engagement here.
Did.
I'm stunned by the way that this has inverted itself completely.
Yeah, hopefully by being C phase for Curbs in this case, he can start pushing back. That's where the income starts to come to his advantage. Maybe we'll see some Hungarian infantry, because those are pretty beefy dudes.
Yes, they are, and they are just freaking awesome fighters. 5 Pioneer squads. So we're not seeing the same kind of emphasis on Sturmschützen and Schützen overall that we saw in Tuesday's game. But regardless, getting a lot of oomph. A lot of bang for our buck, so to speak.
Yep, I think once we hit B and C phase, we'll start seeing the full-on Sturmschützen spam. Because usually I find with 78 players in A phase, they get those big elite infantry, the Grenadiers and Pioneers out, and like 1 or 2 cards as Sturmschützen. And then B phase, all you do is just get the Schützen and Sturmschützen.
Now this is interesting. We have a 410 coming in with that BK5.
Oh yeah.
The cannon. And there's no anti-air either. That's armor crack. That was 1 shot, 1 kill.
You're gonna B2. I don't think he has eyes on the other tank, so
I don't think he does either.
No. Yeah, no anti-air, no airplanes in sight, so he can just fly around willy-nilly.
Well, he's going after the Stukes on the roadside here, so no?
Smoke.
Lining. Well, the stars didn't align for that one, but he does see the other Stuk here, so maybe he gets a kill. I don't know. I'm a little nervous right now. We are into Phase B. And Curbs is going to take some losses here. Especially as the Stuks just kind of make a mockery of whatever charges up the road at them. But they're there just to kind of freak out those Pioneers. Might even get a second kill. Shoot the truck, my friend. Shoot the trucks. Bounce. Wow. After that first, like, 1 shot, 1 kill, I thought we were going to have a much more dominant performance, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shameful of 410. And oh no, Nila, what do you do? You have the worst time to retreat as you're being chased by literally the exact same plane, and he is going to go down. That is a bit of a shame.
DP Grenadiers being brought on in, as is a Tiger. And those machine guns, they're both dead, but they honestly did exactly what they needed to do. They backstopped the teeny tiny the approach for just long enough. But all the same, Curbs does not have a lot of infantry, or really a lot of anything on this map.
Yeah, he's really tapped out in terms of units. Like his northern middle push with all Sturmschützen really benefited Nila quite, and heck, even far north as he can move through with infantry. This is really not looking good for Curbs at all. Especially now he has these planes flying around and they can't do anything because he can't see anything, I believe.
Well, he can definitely see some of this stuff. You can see the 410 is aligning for Stuk runs. One of them is actually already down. So he's aligning for Stuk runs. And yep, here come the Husaroks. I'm super excited for those guys.
Awesome.
Was it 2 to the north? Yeah, 2 to the north on the right of Fiora.
Oh no, yeah. FK2A8. This 3 up north is about to be overrun.
Tiger, in the meantime, is forced to get bailed out. I wonder if we're going to see a quick supply truck? No supply truck just yet. The other show goes down courtesy of that 410. So well done. That 410's got 3 kills already.
Awesome. That's great. And knocking out the tanks is really the major threat that Curbs has to deal with. Because once the tanks are knocked out, it's just a matter of time of using artillery and fire support to knock out Neela's infantry, which are dug in the center.
Very true. Now, the North Ziscon is trying to engage that Shug, and yep, 2 shots that. Well done. Even if he dies now, he has died doing his duty to,
Yep.
God and country.
And he's paid himself off.
Blitz. Yep, he has. There's the Opal Blitz to resupply that Tiger E, and with that, I think there's still 2 Stugs. Oh, there's 1 Nashorn, that's it. There's a Nashorn, and that is almost it, I think, entirely for vehicles.
Neela? Yeah. Really much else on the field currently. He probably still has a few more Stugs that he can get, and probably a lot more Nashorns too.
Well, we also are going to see that Nilla over here says, screw this air power nonsense, and he brings in a couple of anti-air platforms.
Probably a smart move, as he really does not want that 410 flying around again willy-nilly. I think it's a rather scary plane to have over your front line.
Yes, sir. It is 17-7.
Yeah.
The Curbs' early dominance fading a little bit into the woodwork. I'm sure this will turn back around, like we've said. As long as the game continues, Nilla gets weaker and weaker.
And the reason Nilla has all these points is he's just pushed infantry where there's really nothing there to stop him. And he's getting some very good defensive positions up north. He managed to get a foothold into the town. That's going to be a rather pain in the ass to dig out. In the center, it's foothold in the forest. And down south, it's also a foothold in the forest. But,
Well, down south, we are going to see a couple of P3Ns. Those guys, the infantry support vehicles, really quite solid. And a couple more P2s coming to the north. So, that northern town, yes, a big issue. But between artillery and some solid infantry in the form of the Husaroks, I don't know. I think Curbs can bring it back.
Yeah, it's just about whether he can dig out Neela's positions. It's really the major threat. And also got Nashorns being brought in as well. Those things are going to be pretty scary at long range if they get into a good spot.
True.
Yeah. But at the same time, if Curbs can just make a breakthrough somewhere, he has the division with, kind of the mechanized plays that you can do with Hartnett to just break through an area of the map and just capture a bunch of flags in the backline. Which is usually how this map kind of goes, is it's usually a lot of easy areas for you to rush through. You can't easily cover the majority of the map.
Very true. Very true. Now is that a Stu coming in? It's Stu 42. Yes. So the German version of, oh my gosh, the AVRE is finally here.
Not as cool as the AVRE in terms of high explosives, but still,
that's true.
Any high explosive guns, like the Panzer IIIs, the VKs, are all exactly what he needs. His main priority is really knocking out the infantry at this moment.
Well, he's doing a pretty good job at that already, it looks like.
Yeah, up north it's going really well. Fortunately, it's mainly just pioneers, not many Sturm shooting squads. And the VKs are just picking them off run by run. Yeah,
it certainly helps when the infantry's out in the open.
Definitely makes a big difference.
You and I were talking about Call of Duty before we kind of got started with this particular cast. Kind of reminds me of, whenever you're like an airplane or something like that, and you're like, okay, yeah, I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I'll play this on veteran.
I'll be fine. I'm playing like COD 4 on veteran, where the enemies just infinitely respawn and then throw grenades at your feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Not fun at all.
Down south, by the way, the East Germans are getting forced back to the steppes of Prussia, it looks like. So basically the support P3s, those Kampfwagen Kanonen are just so good. One of them is dead, but the other one remains, and he is shelling like mercilessly. There's one Phoenix-Tungs in there. Ooh. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. This is the push that Curbs needs to do. The problem is now, the Pak 43, the Pak 14, the forest behind him, behind Neela, it is. And he's gonna want to probably drop some artillery in that place before he does anything about it. Trying to move up a bit more. Yeah, time is really not on Kerb's side. He is going to lose in 10 minutes or so, or if he doesn't manage to cap some more flags. And up north, his thugs are being pushed back by the IGs and Pack 40s, and middle is just a tough area to push, man. It's a tough area to take back.
It certainly is, but won't stop him from trying. That 410 is going after a Nashorn. Bailed out. I kind of thought we were going to see more than one shell there, but hey, if that works for you.
Yeah.
Well, the mortars, from that center position, really doing some interesting work. They did some great early work, and now they're getting threaded the other direction. Good lord. What's Nashorns that killed them?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Nashorn had eyes on. Damn, that sucks to be at mortar half track, and you really can't be affording to lose them, especially with Hartnett, because you don't have all that many, and the mortar half tracks are worth their weight in gold.
Almost as much as artillery units. As it kills 2? No, it just kills the 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, though, so that 410, that guy right back up there, he just continues to be really the only reason I think that this northern push is not just completely falling apart.
Yeah, there's some lovely snipes overall from him, and now the Tiger's being brought in, and he can start picking off these disabled Nashorns.
Biggest issue here is that now in 8 seconds we're into Phase C. And, oh wow, I didn't even see this. We actually have 2 75mm French cannon down to the south. And they're going to start picking up, I think, some of these anti-tank positions.
Yep.
Most accurate of things, but they'll get there someday.
Literally like 19th century guns.
Yes.
1897 models. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Well, these are the breech loading things as opposed to like the, true breech loaders. We actually have two more Hussars. But we're into Phase C now, so what the heck is Kerb's waiting on? What do you think?
That's a good question. It's just about slowly whittling down Neela's positions, and he is starting to do that. The use of artillery is definitely his best bet. Just more artillery guns out, and just pound all the soft stuff that Neela has. Because that's the thing with 78th Sturm, is that it's not real heavy armor. Everything can be taken out, apart from the Stugs, can be taken out with, good use of long-range, high-explosive application devices. And with Hartnett, you don't have the best long-range, high-explosive application devices, but, any's better than none.
How long did it take you to come up with that politically correct term for high explosives?
Oh no, I just made it up right now.
You're so good. Just so good. We are going to see some resurgent infantry down to the south, a couple pioneers and Bavarians coming on in for the East Germans, but the West Germans, not to be denied, really, there's not a whole lot holding them back. They have a 15-9. I imagine they should be able to pick up another flag pretty easily here.
Yep. It's just this, the northern area and middle area has a lot of flags here, and that's really where Kerb needs to get the push going. I mean, up north there's 2 flags pretty close to each other along the roads of that town.
I'm sorry to disrupt you for a second, but we had the 75 mils and a mortar half-track just took out both a ammunition truck as well as a Nashorn within about 3 or 4 salvos. You see all little tiny craters over there in the center part of the map. That's a shockingly big loss.
Yeah, like I said, this use of artillery will really turn the favor in terms of Kerbs, and now it's just about digging out the infantry, which is the real pain in the ass thing to do. Yeah.
Now to the northern town, we are seeing some artillery being levied towards those rather brave Schutzen. And we're almost to the brink of them really kind of getting picked off.
Mm-hmm. Just so close, so close. The nice thing about the Hussars is we have a great weapon loadout, but it's mainly due to the fact they have a rather large HP pool, so they can just survive long enough under STG barrages to get in the fire support to help out. And there we go, Sturmschutzens have been rooted out, and that is going to get some flags for Curbs.
Yes, they will. The question is, will he get some captures? If he gets those captures right there, that could really sweep the other direction. Unfortunately, there are two Stugs, both Fuhrers, and they are furious as they can start to fire at those poor Hussars being caught out in the open.
Yeah, just picking them off. Easy peasy.
They have a buffer barrage on that middle push, trying desperately to keep him at range. Unfortunately, I think he's got to rush more troops up, and I don't know how easy that's going to be happening.
Yeah, but Curbs has managed to stabilize quite a bit, only with the +1 bleed against him now, and I think he could probably make the get the extra flags down south, as he is doing some fantastic progress here. He's got 34 fighting the Stug. The Stug's probably going to win, but if just, you know, use more high explosive down south, he should be able to push through the scary forest and get into a nice open ground.
One would certainly hope so.
Yeah, yeah.
I just feel like this is like a walking barrage in terms of division so far. I've never really seen it played this way.
Yeah, I think against 78th like this, it's really your only thing that you can do is just artillery the point and then move up, because you don't want to be engaging those infantry head on unless you got a bunch of direct fire support, which Curbs does not have. It's mainly indirect in this case for now. And Neela has managed to nab his flags again up north, bringing it back to a 2+ bleed. And Curbs is just he's so close to turning this around, but so far as well, so far.
Certainly seems to be the case. Got just about 3.5 minutes. Pack 43 is coming on in. We actually see a Tiger getting taken out by one of them to the north, and now with these two new squads of Sturmschützen and the other guy kind of hoofing it forward, not liking chances here. There is a Hetzer to the north, might be able to take out one of those Stugs, not quite yet.
As we all know, the Hetzer is just a superior Stug.
It really is, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Looks cooler, it's smaller, it's got APCR cells, it's got better armor, it's Czech, so you gotta check it out. It's just the ultimate Stug.
We are going to see the 410 is going after the Stugs. One kill? That's one.
You kill?
Oh. No.
And that 410's probably gonna die. Yeah, yeah. 820 mils is not healthy to your health.
He paid for himself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Curbs is just really having a hard time picking up those flags up north. Neela's just, continuing pushing with infantry. And even, like, in these open areas, the Sturmschützen can't do too much, but they're so annoying to dig out. Yeah, it's just taking Curbs too long to root them out and then push back.
Yes, indeed. But we had this Rettifuhrer that was behind enemy lines. For the moment, though, he's keeping things under control. If they can take out the Sturmschützen and maybe the one to the south directly from there, that's a couple of flags good to go. But the question is, wow, they got to pick up those three pretty easily. Wow.
Yeah.
He's got just over 2 minutes to do it.
That Sturmschützen he's holding, he's knocked out one infantry squad, and both infantry squads as they come in the open blitz don't even get a chance to get their foot out the truck. Yeah, this is getting pretty tight here for Curbs.
I would almost laugh if the KD is on Curbs' side, but the win is on the other.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see the KD. I think it might be pretty close, if anything.
It's probably true between the dead tanks and otherwise. But that has now faded back to a 2-minute. As he's barely picked up one. No, there's one freaking Sturmschützen squad that's just holding the line from everything.
I know. STGs are scary, guys. I mean, okay, the right Jaegers have STGs, but, 13 beats 7. And high explosive speed.
Not high explosives?
Yeah. Yeah.
We are still 2 flags away from being even Stevens. But, bizarrely enough, I feel like if Curbs can steal the territory, he might actually just get a win by
I
default.
Yeah, exactly. All he has to do is just flip it back, and you have a lot of room to maneuver on this map, especially with more like mechanized sort of division that Hartnett is, and a good long-range infantry of the.
Wow, look at the south. Look at all that territory just came in the
Oh
direction.
boy, oh boy, and there, like you said, he's just 1 flag array, 2 flags array. He just needs to rest up the infantry and grab some land, and there's not really much here to stop him if he can. Oh, this could flip. This could flip the entire match. There we go. It didn't unload the infantry. Smart move. And now the cavalry Jaegers are, they're acting like true cavalry now.
Rushing, yeah, well, they gotta get in there now.
Yeah.
There's one Sturmschützen squad, and there's a Nash one back there, so I don't know if that's gonna happen for them.
Oh no, rush the other one up north.
Well, okay, that finger's gonna get pocket. That pocket's gonna close right there, so that's gonna be back to a 50-50.
He should have rushed one of those right Jaegers up north to capture the northern flag. I mean, he doesn't have eyes on, but he's just running into a Nash on down south. Yo, he's very close to getting that flag. It's Trove. Oh, I'm on the edge of my sheet, Khan.
Well, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. The battle should always hang by a thread.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 13-12. There we go.
Oh my god. Oh my god, up north it's been completely cleared of the red Germans. This middle same thing.
That's the thing, though, is that now, yes, you have Nashorn's big freaking deal. I don't know, a couple of Tigers over here moving on up. This should be able to pick up a kill or two. VKs as well, exactly. Actually, he should be pretty well tapped for VKs. 2 more, getting another battery of guns up.
Holy shit. Just look at
yeah, no,
holy shit. What? I was not expecting that.
But I agree, though. I agree. I mean, if you look at that, he's fired his best shot. He's not going to get any better. And as the game goes further and further on, Hartnett still has a ton of infantry to call on.
Yeah, you got really good infantry options with Hartnett. Really good infantry options. But holy crap, that must really suck for Neil. I feel for him just losing by such a threat, yeah. But just great play from Curbs.
Wenger, by the way, 1, 2, 3 Stoke Cheese, a Nashorn, and a Stoke Fuhrer.
Is that the...
That's the 410.
Oh yeah, bloody hell! Real MVP of the match there, knocking out all that armor.
And Zumbrunner getting a couple of rhinos by himself.
And look at the Panzer 3N, Youngling. He's pretty good work there. I mean, those 5 support Panzers, like the 3N and 4Fs, are pretty underrated. They're really bloody good at knocking out static, scrissy stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but fantastic match, Okan. Absolutely bang on.
Well, that's been kind of the tenor for the matches this week. Have just been really so solid.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, honestly, with next week, we should be getting some other great stuff as well.
Exactly.
But until then, any last thoughts you want to share?
If you remove the K out of the name of the map, it spells a naughty word.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to let that alone for right now. But in the meantime, folks, before we impugn your virgin ears with anything further, I'm Conor Work.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.